Hildebran Town Council meeting. We will begin, I call the meeting to order, and we will begin with a moment of silence. Thank you. Logan, it's your turn. Please turn the pledge.
Stand, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Three, review and adoption of the agenda. Look over it and make a motion when you're ready. I see an amendment here.
Yeah, we do have two amendments. So one is the proposed statement on rental forms for 6A. And then the other one is an agenda amendment for a 2-year extension for Synergy Labs. And we can do that under other business.
Okay.
if we like.
All right.
The one with 6A just goes with 6A, it's not an addition.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda with the amendment.
Yeah.
All in favor? Thank you. Approval of minutes from the June 26, 2023 regular meeting minutes. Look over those and make a motion whenever you're ready.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from June 26, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
All in favor? Thank you. All right, public comments.
This was Jim J.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Town Council, we appreciate each of you and the fine people you really represent in Hildebran. Go back a long way. We're here from Eastbrook Youth Athletic. We're in the process, we started about a year ago, trying to plan together. We could really make a top-notch, first-class recreational facility, family facility for the citizens of Hildebran. We have worked hard at that. We finally got the property across the street. We've been putting a proposal together, and we'd like to bring that proposal to you folks at your next meeting next month. And we may need a meeting to talk about properties or whatever prior to that. We'll speak to you later about that, to the mayor. But we're trying to, and let me take you back just a moment. Mackie Johnson, a lot of you know Mackie, loves this town. Has given a lot of his time helping us put this plan together. Our boys down at Don Britton, same way, Britton Engineering. They've helped us bring this along, and we finally got it to the stage now. We've made applications, got a real nice grant to help us with construction once that decision is made. But we're at the point now, we want to bring contractors in. We've got to give y'all some numbers that we can count, likewise for ourselves. And so, Mackie has drawn up the walls will be necessary to take out to get the overall plan to make this a real functional facility for the town. And as a result, he's asked us to put X tape on those walls so we can speed up the contractors when they come in to give us a pricing on taking the walls out and the renovation that's needed. So we'll have a community room, storage areas for all the athletics we're doing, and just a facility that the town will really be proud of, and everyone in the town will be able to use. And as a result, we understand there's some reason or other that our tape's been taken down, and we don't understand why, but we need that at council so that we get contractors in here to give us numbers. So when we talk to you at this meeting, we've got the numbers that make sense. And so we're here tonight to ask permission to get that tape back up so we get on the project.
Well, we can bring it up under other business, if that's all right.
That's fine. How long they're gonna be there?
We hope our meeting's gonna be quick tonight.
Good.
Never know.
Council. If you have questions, we have to answer questions.
Okay, next on the list, Melissa Barnes. Y'all know, Ricky's making me do this. He can sit there and be quiet. I just want to bring back up what Ricky had previously talked to everyone about back last year, some repairs that he did in the gym so we can have basketball. And these things have been kind of put on the back burner. I don't know, pass those around, we have coffee. So we just really wanted to see if that could get pulled back to the forefront and just see if we can get those things addressed and taken care of.
That's
No
all.
other speakers, that's it.
Okay, we'll move on, to 6, old business. 6A, consider approval of general liability insurance requirements for rentals, events, and leases policy.
Yes, if you turn to attachment 6A, so we have the updated rentals policy we discussed last month. The policy now states that any individual or group who holds a public event or a charged event must purchase insurance for the event. However, the new language allows for private parties to opt out of the insurance requirements should they choose to do so. If they decline to purchase or provide insurance for the private rental, will have to sign a statement acknowledging they're responsible for any damage or claims that arise due to the rental. On page 2, we also changed the language to include any sporting event instead of listing a handful of specific events. The general aggregate was changed from none to $2 million. Basically with the policy, all changes are in red. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them, but this is essentially what we discussed last month. And we'll need a motion to vote to change the policy.
The portion that we handed out, this portion is worked with Jared, and this first part is what we'd like to put on the rental form. So that actually they have to check, yes, they're providing it, or no, they're not. And if they're not, then they have to sign a date that they're responsible. And then Jared, also had a recommendation that, maybe we should put something like that in the policy, but it's up to you guys. If you've read that little statement for discussion.
This is paper, which is passed out.
So currently, we do not allow alcohol for any rentals.
I'll make a motion to approve, plus add what Jared put down here, the other policy.
Is there a certain amount of, no, so this, so this would be for also private events. So do you want to put say if it's 100 people or more, then yes, you have to get it now? Or do you still want to leave it as optional, regardless of the number of people?
How's the council feel?
As long as they sign up a waiver agreeing, and if they don't get the insurance, they're responsible.
Okay, so just keep it at no matter how many people, okay.
Okay, so his motion is still on the floor. All right, I'll call it for a vote. All in favor? All right, thank you. 7, new business, 7A, presentation of Vedic Services. Tanya Stevenson, Chairman, Carrie Petit, Executive Director, and Eddie McGinty, Business Development. I know Tanya from cutting ribbons, so.
We want to do more of that.
Good evening, I'm Eddie Jackson, good to be here tonight. I'm gonna give you a little history of Eddie before I introduce the other two ladies. I'd like to give you some statistics about what we've done. The town of Valdez established Valdez Economic Development Investment Corporation as part of our NC Rural Center, NC STEP program in 2009. Vedic's purpose was to provide a comprehensive set of services to new and existing businesses in Valdez. The Valdez NC Step Committee received $125,000 from the Rural Center to be used for a revolving loan fund. VEDIC was created to administer the program and made the first loan in July of 2009. In 2010, Golden Leaf came to Burke County through the Tier 1 Community Assistance Initiative and allocated $250,000 for a revolving loan program that would be administered by VEDIC throughout Burke County. VEDIC became a 501c3 with an expanded board to give representation from the whole county. Countywide loans to businesses were first made in January 2011. In May 2012, VEDIC applied to the USDA Rural Business Corporate Services for an intermediary lending program with a request of $161,000, which was approved by USDA and allocated by VEDIC. In July of 2014, VEDIC received a transfer of RBS funds in the amount of $433,475 in March of 2015 and a transfer of $458,250 in July of 2015. A $675,000 transfer, and in July of 2016, another transfer of $397,411.32. As you can see, things were going pretty good. We were lending money out. And they'll give you some numbers of the impacts we've had. As a USDA intermediary lending program, VEDIC can make loans anywhere in North Carolina with a population of 50,000 or less, but we continue to concentrate our efforts in Western North Carolina. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members and manager and all of you here. I'm Tanya Stevenson. Most of you probably know me from the Chamber of Commerce, but tonight I got a VEDIC hat on and serve as chairman of the VEDIC board, and it's so privileged and honored to get to serve in that capacity for that organization. It's one that I'm very proud of and very proud to call Burke County home for that organization. So we are excited to work together. I understand that you've got a presentation in front of you, so I want to go through it with you just a little bit, maybe expound on it a little bit. Want to let you know that the numbers you're seeing, we wanted to give you a full year. So it's the full fiscal year, which is a little bit behind, but we're at the end of our fiscal year, and we don't have this immediate past year ready with all the numbers. But you'll see what we've done from 2021 to 2022. We loaned out 21 loans. 7 was the IERC, and a total of $739,500, which we're really proud of. 2022 or 2020, that was just a little bit down from the previous year, which we had 22 loans and 7 ARC, a total of $935,972. So we were a little bit flat with that during COVID and all the issues with that. We were actually helping more with emergency loans and trying to help get people just through the times than what we were, getting new loans out as much as we had in the past. So we were just a little bit flat, but we're still, I believe next year when we get to COVID, you'll see a big growth. So it's kind of exciting to see. Throughout the period of time from 21 to 22, we gave out 2 loans to Alexander County, 12 to Burke, which is where, because we're here, more people know about us here. So we give out more loans here. We had 5 loans in Caldwell County, 1 in Catawba, and 1 in McDowell counties. As Eddie said, though, we can expand out and go further if we have the need or the opportunity, and we're willing to do that to any county in the state that meets the requirements. So as Eddie told you, we started in 2009. 14 years of loans has resulted in 167 loans. And this is the big whopper that I'm so proud of. We've given a total of $7.6 million in small business loans, which has really helped. Some of the companies that we have helped wouldn't be in business if we hadn't been able to be there and help them, because one thing, they have to be turned down by a bank. So we know that the bank won't loan to them. So that's where we're there, is just to help boost them up when they can't get the loans elsewhere. So I'm really proud of that number, and I hope that you're proud of it too, to be a part of it. So unfortunately, anytime you're giving out money, and sometimes the companies are a little bit riskier than what you might would normally have. We do have a default rate, however, it's only 4.2%, and out of all the loans that we've given, 167 loans, we're pretty proud of that. That only totals 7 loans due to 14 years, and that equates to $126,500. So to me, 4.2%, 126,000 out of 7.6 million, we've really done well with our loans and bringing the money back around. I'm not too sure too many banks can say that. So even though we're taking some risk on our companies, we've had a lot of successes with them. So we started out from the Golden Leaf Foundation, gave us $250,000. We have rotated that money, revolved that money. We revolved that money because these are interest loans, and we now are up to $884,000, 481 that we've been able to, that we've revolved. So again, we keep bringing in money, we keep loaning money out, and it's just allowed us the opportunity to continue to help more and more businesses. So the Valdez Rural Center revolving loan fund. Now these are loans that we only give to Valdez. So Valdez was a partnership with us in the beginning, and we had a grant, $125,000, starting with them to loan out. That fund has revolved into $372,285. So that continues to revolve and let us help in really local businesses. So those definitely have to be Valdez. One thing we're proud of, a lot of the businesses we work with are minority-owned businesses. So 45% of our loans have been minority businesses, 75 of the 167 loans, which equals to $3.5 million have gone out to minority businesses. And so we're trying to help people that might not otherwise be able to have businesses. We're trying to support all people. So the Appalachian Regional Commission grant, y'all very familiar with getting ARC loans. Thankfully, in 2019, the first time that we reached out to them, we asked for $100,000, and we did get that grant. It has revolved into $195,000 revolving loans and 21 loans that we've done from that beginning of $100,000. So we're very grateful for them, and that partnership has continued. Because in 2022, we got another $100,000 from them. And so we're very excited to continue for them to see what we're doing and believe in it and continue to help give us grants to help these companies. Currently, we have 58 loans that we are working with, or businesses we're working with, that origination amounts was $2.7 million out of those 58 loans. We have an outstanding balance with them of $1.9 million. So we continue to stay strong and keep revolving and moving it. Matter of fact, we've got, I believe it was 3 loans that we approved last month that were pretty big, so we're excited about those. They're all local. So here's the great part. In the chamber world, we're always excited to know about jobs and job creations. So out of the 167 loans that we've done throughout the 14 years, we have affected 10 counties from Alexander, Burke, Caldwell, Catawba, Cleveland, Iredell, McDowell, Mecklenburg, Rowan, and Rutherford. And we have created 821 jobs through those companies that we have helped. 585 of those jobs right here in Burke County. So that's something we're very proud of and happy that we get to support these businesses and bring these job creations to our county and to the surrounding areas. Best thing that I think about our partnership with VEDIC and the county is we have 100% municipality support. So every one of the towns throughout Burke County support VEDIC. We have people on our board that from every municipality. We appreciate your service, and we're just really proud of that. And so our board is quite large because we have representation from all the county, from all the towns in the county. And so we've got some great support. We want to thank Hildebran for your support, your continued support for VEDIC, and hope that we can continue to work together in any way possible. Now, Carrie has some some great news for you as well. She's our executive director, so I'm gonna turn it over to her. But thank you guys for having us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Mayor Hildebran and town council friends, in closing, I just wanted to mention a few Vedic highlights. During the pandemic, we can't forget about a lot that went on during that time. We had a lot of businesses calling during that time, as we can remember, just frantic about their payments, not knowing what to do. Also during that time, the SBA was offering a very attractive loan rate for businesses, which was 3.25% interest rate for 30 years. So a lot of our business clients that we served took advantage of that loan offering. So we got a lot of payoffs during that time. So you'll see in your packet there noted that we were just curious, just to see since April of 2020, how many payoffs we have received. So we had a total of 53 loans totaling a little over 2.4 million that paid off due to either a refinance with a traditional bank and the low government loan, or just a normal loan payout. So that is a tremendous amount. And if you remember what Tanya had mentioned, our existing portfolio of 58 loans, and we have revolved that back to what was paid off, and a little over 2.7 million. So that's pretty incredible if you think about it with all the payoffs. But with that offering that was being offered, that was the right thing for the clients to do, and it was a great offering for business to be able to stay in business and get their payments lower. Also, you'll see we are in partnership, and we are honored to partner with the Secretary of State. We are currently featured on their funding sources. If you're not familiar or have not heard about Rural Rise NC, check it out. It's amazing what all the Secretary of State has worked to accomplish for any new charter that is established in the county, not just Burke County, but in the county. They will automatically get an email, and it's a rather lengthy email, and it encumbers all kinds of information from getting help from the Small Business Center, just anything that you could think of that businesses just don't know about. So I'm excited that we are listed as a highlight on there as a funding source, and we do get calls from folks that receive that email from the Secretary of State and asking for our help to help with their funding. As we know, funding is one of the major needs for businesses when they get started, is having enough funding to be going in order to be a successful business. A couple statistics that the Secretary of State had noted I wanted to make mention. In 2022, Burke County had over 513 businesses registered, and the total for the whole state of North Carolina was 171,400 new businesses. That was 171,400 new businesses in the state of North Carolina. That just is mind-boggling. So we've got a lot going on in our state, and it's just really a privilege to be a part of that. I could not be here tonight without the support of our amazing board of directors. And I say we have the best board around because they are a volunteer group of individuals that come and they really share and help decisions to be made that are sometimes hard decisions. Sometimes the answer is not always yes, and sometimes that's the best answer is for it not to be yes. But we have a board of a total of 22, and that is a lot. To get along and make recommendations and come together as a whole. That these individuals, as noted there in your packet, I won't go through all of their names, but I will highlight Miss Karen Robinson. She is just a tremendous individual. I appreciate your dedication and your support to our board. She comes with her heart and ready to roll, and she delivers every time she comes, and I know you guys know that. But thank you for letting her serve and be a part of it. And we also have a picture in the slides of our board. I'm learning to take more pictures these days and remember these memories with these precious people. Next, we can't forget about our loan review committee. We have a committee that, again, volunteer to help us make recommendations. We basically underwrite the loans. And that is a lot of work. We go through financials, we look at cash flow projections. We have the Small Business Center Director as part of that committee, as well as other diversified business owners. It might be a banker, it might be, you can see there in the slide, there's just a diverse group, and you need diversity there. You don't always want all bankers on the board. I'm speaking from previous experience there, but you do have to have a little bit of give, so we do diversify there. But I am so thankful for all that they contribute in their volunteer efforts in making these sound recommendations to the board. And when those recommendations are made, the board actually is the one that makes the approval for the loan to proceed or not. Our next slide there you can see is our staff, myself, Eddie McGinty, who is in our business development, does a tremendous job there. We have a technical assistant so that once our loans are made, we do not leave the business out there hanging. We have that technical assistance that we follow up. We make sure that they know what taxes that they're supposed to pay, because a lot of business open and they don't know what taxes they're supposed to pay or how they're supposed to facilitate with their accounting methods and things like that. So it's very important that we have that technical assistance, and we partner with USDA in efforts for help with that. And then we still have Chuck Mosley on call help. If anybody knows Chuck, he is just a tremendous individual, and we can't go without noticing all that he's contributed to VEDIC and his wealth of knowledge as well. Lastly, our contributors, as Tony had already mentioned, we cannot be here today without the support, not only monetary, but to have the time that is invested with those that volunteer to help us again make sound decisions and really care about the business community. Because if you think about when a business is started, it is a domino effect. When that business opens, it helps the next person, whether it's a restaurant that opens. It helps somebody get another place to eat, which we desperately need these days. So, it's just a domino effect, and it's just a true honor to be able to see that transpire as I've been with VEDIC almost 8 years now. It's just a privilege to be able to be a part. Again, Town of Hildebran and Council, it's just been a blessing to have you all a part of this partnership. Thank you for allowing us to come and share a little bit about what we do and our backdrop. And we look forward to many more good things to come with VEDIC and the business community as a whole. And we'll accept any questions at this time. We have time.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
7B, determine town representative to serve on the NCDOT Mobility Side Path Feasibility Study Committee.
Yes, so the town was awarded the feasibility study grant from NCDOT to study potential routes of the Burke River Trail. They've asked that we select a board member to serve on the steering committee prior to the start of August. The one thing is, we do not have a meeting schedule as of tonight. So it's hard to say when the meeting is going to take place. However, they do need an appointee put on the board, and we'll need a recommendation, motion, and vote. Through that. Any volunteers? Not all at once.
All right. Right, Kaz? Yeah. All right. Somebody need to make a motion, I guess.
Motion and vote.
Motion and vote.
I'll make a motion to give Mike a job then.
All in favor? Thank you. Okay, 7C, July facilities report, that's in your packet. I don't know if there's any comment there. Yeah, okay. 7D, consider approval of 2022 tax settlements. And let me see, that is D. You need a vote on that, don't you? Alice, do you have a comment?
Yeah, the first one is from John Bridgers, the tax administrator at Burke County. He has done one for the most recent year that just ended. And then mine is after that, and that is for this past fiscal year, but it's for the tax years 2004 to 2017. So we do need, motion to vote to approve those.
What's the pleasure of council?
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2022 tax settlement.
All in favor? Thank you. 7E, order for the tax collector to collect property taxes for 2023 and 2027 and all prior years. And that requires a motion to vote also.
Yes, one's for John and one's for me.
Okay.
Make it all in one motion. Okay. I'll make a motion. to approve, for the tax collector to collect property taxes for 23 and 17 on prior years.
All right, all in favor? Thank you. 7F, June tax report, that's in your packet. I guess there's no comment there. 7G, deputy report. Gary's here if you have questions about crime.
Any questions? It was a good month.
Shooting what? Shooting back?
All right,
Keep working on it, you get there.
7H, committee reports. Get back into that. Okay, technical coordinating committee.
Yes, so the committee actually meets on Wednesday. However, they do plan to vote on the 2050 Metropolitan Transportation Improvement Plan, the newest lab submittals, and they also plan to review their latest submittals for spot 7.0 prioritization. That's all I got.
Transportation Advisory Committee,
So,
okay. Western Piedmont Council Government Policy Board,
Tomorrow night.
Burke Economic Development,
So we intended to meet this month, and we actually did physically meet, but we didn't have a quorum, so no business was conducted. However, they do plan to send out some stuff via email, so I will forward that to the board.
okay.
That's all.
Recreation and Tourism,
That's the report.
Water Resource Committee, Eddie,
Thursday meeting. We had it.
they, okay, thank you. Library Board, we didn't have a meeting this month. Events Committee, we didn't have a meeting. Do you have something?
We just,
We're meeting to review the contract, going over the details. Karen and I actually met this morning at 12 to send that out. We sent Jared a copy, but we are updating that, and then once we have our updates, we'll send that to Eddie for his review to see what he has to send back. And then once we have something, we will probably meet most likely next month in August.
Okay. Other business, we've heard from East Burke Youth, wishing to bring a contractor in.
There were several contractors.
Several, okay.
That's right.
Okay. What does the council have any comment?
You got any plans to set all that for what you like to have done?
Yes, sir. We'll be able to present all that to you this next meeting.
Can we afford to take on another project?
No.
I don't think we can. We got one already allocated,
You said something about getting a grant, though. Did you guys get a
We
grant
already got a grant.
to do that?
Partial money, yeah. Yeah, we'll do it all, but it's a
Fire money, nothing.
But this is just a total proposal for y'all to look, for several properties involved. Y'all can examine it.
Anyone else have any comment?
Were we able ever to get a financial statement from them as a nonprofit?
Nonprofits are required to provide those, but we have not received one.
That'll be, when we make our proposal, you'll have all that.
Just a statement about that. We were told our rent could not be looked at until we provided that. And we had already been in a meeting last year, like Jim said, discussing a proposal that basically would not cost the town anything because it would be a trade for the property across the street that the town of Hildebran would then have for the renovation of the gym, which would then become PBYO property.
Mr. Mayor, we've been working on this better than a year now. I'd say Maggie Johnson's been a part of it, total plan. We passed it through the inspectors in the town. We're trying to put it all together so that we come up with one package. We'll take a look at it, see whether you like it or not.
I don't care.
It's up to the council.
Just for them to present it at the next meeting.
We feel like we
Yeah.
have. But we gotta be able to bring contractors in here so we get prices on taking petitions out. So we know exactly what it's gonna cost.
Yeah, the one thing I would recommend is before you like tape up a public facility, is make sure we don't have renters that are using it.
We're not
We had
checking, we
rental,
put on petitions, we're just put.
Yeah, you Xed out the water fountain.
Contractors, when we bring contractors in, they see exactly what they want to take out. Otherwise, they have to stay, it's hard to get them to do that mental work, but if something got an X on it, they price it. That's all we're doing.
staff was unaware of it.
All right, hearing no comment from the council.
Yeah, I don't care for it, I won't hear. Nothing, anybody else?
May I ask why?
Yes, ma'am, we got our hands tied with a bunch of projects, we've already had to cut money here, trying to fix what we got started. And we didn't have no money to put back into that,
We're not,
that's just about it.
we're not asking.
We're not asking for money, we're asking you just to take a look at what we have. Because this is for the future of.
I'm just telling you, we can't take on no more projects. That's all I'm saying, I mean, they might think different, I don't know. I mean, I'm still sitting looking at it, we can't do it.
What is it? That question, what concern do you have?
Do what?
What concern do you have, sir, about us bringing a proposal to you, for you to look at, that we asked
I
about
can
a
see you
year
ready to
ago?
look at it, but I'm not looking at it, I mean, I'm not gonna pay attention to it because we can't afford it right now.
But
That's just my opinion, talk to the rest of them.
We may be bringing you $1 million, you don't know that. We just asked you to present a proposal to you that we've worked awful hard on, we've got other people putting free time in to make this a
Like I
better
said,
community.
I'm just one person, you talk to the rest of them.
Yeah, maybe we go down the line and get everybody's opinion. Start with the mayor or councilmember.
My
Weaver.
thing is, why is it not brought to the council to look at before you go bringing contractors in to do this or that? That is, well, how does the council not know what you got up your sleeve?
Nothing except to make this community better. And we can't bring you a price until we get contractors to give us a price. And all it takes to do that is just a piece of tape on the wall that's got to be taken out. So they give us price, so we give you something solid that you can depend on.
When we met with a few people over here a year ago, there was a preliminary drawing. And we were told to get a price.
To go ahead and get the estimates. You can't get the estimates if people can't come and look at what you're potentially going to do. Nothing is set in stone. Nobody's gonna touch anything or take anything out. They just need to see what the proposal is to be able to price it so we can present it.
So if I remember correctly, I think council left it out. We would resume discussions once financials were provided. and that's where it was left. Is that correct?
Yes, and didn't you try several times to contact?
Yes.
We have not received anything in writing asking for financials.
I can give it to you tomorrow.
Jody, do you have any feelings on this? Mike, do you have any?
I'm not directly opposed for them doing research and studying the project. It just needs to be coordinated with the town, because possible enters and stuff. We're not gonna commit to anything. If they want to, spend time to do the research, due diligence on their part, that would give us more information than we have right now. We won't have to make a decision that way, but we won't know what we're gonna have to decide until we see it. So I don't have any problem with them doing that, as long as they coordinate with our town manager as far as scheduling times, things like that. Then I can put together their proposal and bring it to us. We've neither voted up or voted down. So we're not committed to it one way or the other.
Ben, do you have anything?
Said my piece.
Okay. Well, that's where it stands now. So we will go on. Is there any other?
Question, Mr. Mayor. Does that mean we can go over there and show different contractors what petitions would be taken out if the town accepts the proposal or not?
You'll work with the town manager.
Yeah, if you coordinate with Logan, as far as what you're doing, I have no problem with going in and doing it,
They don't lock it.
as long as he knows what's going on with it. I mean, that's,
Got no problem, it's just,
We can provide all the information.
but we need to be able to do it so we can bring you a complete proposal.
It's all about communication. We haven't had that so far.
They're gonna be able to work with Logan and that will be better.
That's where we're at.
Okay.
All right. Other business?
Yes, so under other business. So West Consultants is asking for a 75-day extension. Currently, they're waiting to put out the bids, however, they've got to get the soil borings report for that. So far, our contract only included 3 revisions from West. However, based on council's request, we've done about 5 or so. So they have been willing to work with us. Initially, we asked to reduce the size of the concession and restroom building to bring the estimates down from roughly 400,000 to 300,000. Then we asked to reduce the size of the walking trail to lower the sidewalk cost estimate. Then we asked that they move the pavilion and resize the pavilion from 28 by 32 to 52 by 32, and then turn the stage. So some of the time was eaten up by waiting on the responses from RF consultants to ensure we were in compliance with the contract by making these changes. And then the other thing I did is I provided each of you with a copy of all the current drawings from West Consultants, so you can look through those. The one thing we do need to make sure of is if you're good with the direction that the pavilion is facing. So in one of the copies, you can go to it should be the first one that looks like this. So if you go to page 3, third page of this document, should be the first one. Currently, they have the shelter running parallel to First Street Southwest. I think we would want it perpendicular, just to give you more viewable area from the stage, but again, that asking them to do that may add on additional time if you do want to do it. So it is up to you.
Picnic shelter.
Yeah, it should be this one here.
Okay.
So page 3.
Page 4. Isn't it? Or on the wrong page.
I'm sorry, page 4.
Okay.
I was kind of thinking the stage was gonna be turned more, kind of halfway towards where the current people sit.
Yeah, that's already been communicated to them, so that's gonna be in their next update,
Okay.
but yeah.
Turn and face this way.
More,
Yeah, more than they have, so.
because so many people like to sit up here.
You're fine.
Yeah, essentially what it is, you have 32 feet facing the stage instead of the 52-foot length. So you would increase visibility for about 20 feet if you turned it. But it's up to you all.
Is there any way you could check with them and ask them if that's gonna push it back any farther?
Yeah, I can. If you have no issues with it, we can move forward with it as is. But when we discussed it during the budget retreat, it was supposed to be perpendicular to First Street and South Center Street. Do you want to make that as a motion contingent
Yeah, I'll
upon
make a
the?
motion to check with them.
Okay.
All right. Any other discussion? All in favor? Thank you. All right. Was there any other business?
Yes, so the amendment we added, you've got Synergy Labs requesting a 2-year extension. So they're currently working on the building now, but given their success with the first grant and the substantial renovations they performed on the building, the state's already approved their extension. And just as kind of like a comparison, we were given a 6-year extension last month on the auditorium. So our SCIF grant actually expired on June 30th. However, they extended that from June 30th, 2023, I'm sorry, a 5-year extension to June 30th, 2028. So the Department of Commerce has already extended Synergy's contract. So staff does recommend extension of 2 years. And then we would need a motion and a vote to approve.
I'll make a motion to extend it.
All in favor? Thank you.
And then the last one I have is we talked about replacing the black and white cameras at the park and adding a license plate camera. I think that's something Gary had mentioned. So Carl Childers, he is ready to replace the 5 black and white cameras with color face recognition cameras, as well as add 2 additional colored cameras with face recognition, and then add 1 colored camera that's a license plate specialty camera. And we would need a motion and vote to that. It is a $5,000 budget amendment that we do not have in the budget, if you want to move forward with it.
I'll make the motion to do the budget amendment, 5,000 for the cameras.
All in favor? Thank you. Any other business? Any announcements? Okay, there's just one thing left.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Thank you.